the idea of expressive sovereignty, just being able to fully express yourself the way that you want to express yourself, no matter what that looks like, how you do it. Once we are able to tap into our creativity again, that it just really ignites every other section of our life. And so if we can intentionally tap into, what do I want to create? What do I really want to create? Please express yourself as sovereignly as you possibly can, and continue to express yourself until you feel like, yep, there I am. Hello. Long time no see. I got so sick, you guys. It's going on like almost 2.5 weeks, and I can still hear it in my voice. I've been trying to wait for my voice to be back to normal, and now I'm realizing I don't know when that's going to be. So here I am in all my glory, and this is what we're going to be dealing with today. So I wrote a Substack about how I got sick and how actually it was really such a blessing. It was really hard being so sick because I don't really get sick that often. I'll get like a cough or some sniffles maybe every once in a while. I mean, I have 3 kids, and so, when they get sick, everybody kind of usually gets sick. But on occasion, I'll miss it. My husband and I kind of alternate with who misses it and all these things. So it was my turn to get it bad, and I got it bad. And it was so frustrating and annoying because I had just come up with this big plan. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be posting on Substack, on Instagram, on YouTube, blah, 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 doing this whole thing because I need to be visible. I want to be seen. And I'm not going to let that, fear of visibility, fear of being seen kind of hold me back from saying what I want to say, was the vibe. So I came up with this whole plan, and then I got struck down and I was like, okay, this sucks. But it is what it is. You got to go with the flow. You can't just, you can do all the masculine stuff, but when the feminine comes through and is humbling you, you need to just kind of go with it. So I'm going with it. And then I realized one day, I was just like, oh, this all started in my throat, because I started getting, my throat just started feeling weird. And I was like, oh no, I hope I'm not getting sick. This is not ideal. It's never ideal to get sick. And I was finally thinking that, oh, your throat chakra, your expression, and maybe the way I was planning on expressing myself wasn't completely in alignment with how my soul, my higher self or whatever, wanted to actually be expressed. Is there any part of me that is feeling like the way that I have everything planned out is not 100%? And I was thinking, yeah, absolutely. Because there's always been a part of me that has felt, honestly, like I don't need to be doing things the way anyone else is doing them, which is just like, I don't know, duh, maybe, because we're all different people and we're not all going to be able to show up the same way because we're all unique and different. But I mostly mean it in the way of, it's, you always hear, if you want to grow on social media, if you got to do this. If you want to grow your business, you got to do this. These are the tried and true steps, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds so fun, because there's also a part of me that loves to just plan shit out. Do I need a new planner? Oh, perfect. And I'm going to do it because I want a new planner or whatever. I get to highlight shit in my planner. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to do that. There's that side of me that really enjoys the idea of structure and writing it down and blah, blah, blah. And then there's the other part of me that's like, I actually I hardly ever stick to a plan in that regard. I need it to be so loosey-goosey. I need it to be so, okay, here are the parameters and you can go anywhere within here kind of thing. Not just, this is it, bop, bop, bop. Because it just doesn't work for me. And I know this about myself. And yet I still do the planning thing. It's almost like I go through the stages of, okay, let's do everything dotting every I, crossing every T, and then we're going to just erase it all and hope that whatever we wrote down before is kind of still there. It's so bizarre. So even knowing that about myself, I continue to do it. But I realized with this throat situation, I was like, okay, so this is my body actually telling me now. It's my this is coming from a deeper place, right? So maybe I'll listen this time and I'll switch it up. And so I'm like, okay, so this is about expressing myself from a purely sovereign place. So I'm not looking outside of me. What should I be doing? What should I be posting? How often? Blah, where, what should I, that kind of thing. Looking at all of the ebooks that I've freaking download and sign up for newsletters for like a lunatic. It's very much coming from what do I want to do and when do I want to do it? And a lot of it is based on just where I am in life right now. Right? Like right now, having such young kids, today is my baby's birthday. He's 1, so he's officially a toddler, no longer a baby, but he's a baby. But having such young kids, I have to leave more room for the flow. It doesn't do me any justice to try to make things work a certain way. It's like I can have a goal, and however I get to that goal is going to be perfect because I hit the goal. And that's really all it is. It's the messy middle. You kind of do things however, right? Just get it done. And that's very much the season of life that I'm in right now. Even for this podcast, I'm like, okay, I need a plan. I need some outlines. I need some bullet points, blah, blah, blah. But trying to create those bullet points was holding me back for whatever reason. It's like, and maybe down the line, I will have some points, that I'll want to hit and all these things. But for now, I just need to dive in. I need to just kind of like shut the fuck up and do it. So that's what I'm doing here today. Thank you for being with me. But I really wanted to basically talk about the idea of expressive sovereignty, just being able to fully express yourself the way that you want to express yourself, no matter what that looks like, how you do it. And one of the reasons why this is coming up in such a big way for me, aside from the fact that I was, again, struck down by sickness, I felt like, okay, I need to do something creative, or I wanted to write again. I was really feeling the itch to write again. And so I wrote a little bit and it felt so good. It really felt like coming home to myself because I am a writer and I do love to just make up, be in a world that I create kind of thing. And so I started to do this 7-day challenge for myself of picking something that I wanted to do creatively and then working through any blockages that are, anything that's keeping me like, why am I not creating this thing that I clearly want to make? And so I started this 7-day challenge and I'm in the middle of it. So I'm not done with it yet. And the funny thing about it is that I thought it was going to be about fiction, that the thing I was going to want to create would be fiction. But it turns out that a creative endeavor can be literally anything that you create. Did you know? I'm like, oh, duh, Renee, of course. So my creative endeavor because I opened my Akashic records, and I asked, like, what does my soul want to create today? What do I want to work on for the next week? Just as something fun. And what came through was this workshop actually that I'm doing. And so this workshop ties into this expressive sovereignty bit, because realizing that I don't want to grind on social media. Like, I don't want to do the social media grind. The thought of it makes me tired. It makes me really tired. And I do believe that there is a time and place for it. And I do believe that it can be very helpful for people. Like, I know this to be true because you see it everywhere, right? And it happens. But I know for me currently that the way I am going to get more clients to my business and like talk about the Akashic records and get it out there, which I really do feel is part of why I'm here, is to get it to become more of a household name where when you ask someone, have you ever heard of the Akashic records? They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I feel that I'm here to kind of, get rid of that a little bit. And so I decided to do a workshop, and I'm co-hosting a workshop with one of my clients, and in May, the beginning of May, and I'm so excited. And I realized the other day, I was like, oh, this is my social media. This is how I'm gonna be talking about what I do, and bringing people to my business. It's like I can be on social media and talk about what I do and just how I'm living my life using the records, and just as a spiritual person, mother, wife, all these things, but not having to feel like the marketing part is I think the piece where I don't feel like doing it in that way right now. Not to say I won't ever do it that way, because I do have a feeling that I will, but for now, and for now could be literally for the next couple of weeks, for the next couple of months, whatever, who knows? I'm sure it will all change. I know it will, but this workshop feels like, oh yeah, this is the thing. So we have one planned, and it's called the Soul Remembrance Workshop. And we already have a few women that are going to be joining us. And I'm so excited. So that was what came through for me during this little challenge that I'm making up. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. I thought it would be fiction writing. But of course, I have to create things for this workshop. I get to create the whole you're creating this whole thing from scratch. And so has been so fun. And it's one of those things too, as a reminder, creating a business, creating a new structure in a business, creating a structure for your family, creating a meal plan for your family. It's like we can use all of these tasks or whatever as creation, as a creative outlet. You know what I mean? If we think of it that way, because it really is, that's what we're doing. We're making something from nothing or from something else. And I just feel like once we are able to tap into our creativity again, that it just really ignites every other section of our life. Because we are meant to be making stuff. We are creators. We're creators of our own reality every single day. You make every single thing in your life happen. That's just the way it is. That's energy. That's the way energy works. And so if we can intentionally tap into, what do I want to create? What do I really want to create? Not what should I be making because of all of these things that have happened to me. And so this is programming that I'm just tapping into. What do I want to make because I want to make it, because it will bring me joy, and it's like one of those things where you discount how meaningful your joy is. And I want you to take a second and think about, when is the last time you did something purely for your own joy? And if it has been far too long, and even if it hasn't been far too long, even still, what can you do today? What can you do after you listen to this podcast? What can you do, whatever it is, whatever's going on, what can you do that can bring you even a little bit of joy? And just try to make decisions based on that. And I feel like something that comes through for my clients a lot of times is you doing joyful things that bring you joy is not selfish, because when you are operating from a place of, oh my gosh, I'm so joyful, then you're feeling love, then you're feeling gratitude. And when you're in a loving place full of gratitude and joy, then you are able to spread that around. And that's like the ultimate act of service, to be spreading joy and love and gratitude around, right? It's so when you are putting yourself first in that regard, what can make me joyful right now that really just makes my heart sing, you're doing such a beautiful service for the collective because you're elevating yourself, which is going to elevate everyone around you. You know, when you meet people that are just radiating, it makes you feel radiant. And that's exactly what this is. When you're joyful, you spread joy. And it's just as simple as that. And so it's so important for us to really, really dig in and say, why am I not feeling joyful? Why am I not creating anything? Why am I not making anything? And it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. You know, I'm not saying go and buy paints and canvases. And if that's what you do, fantastic. Or if that's something that you've been wanting to do it. But it can seriously be so, so, so simple. Like just doodling if you haven't drawn in months or years, and starting super, super small. And then after you do it, sit with it and thank yourself for doing it. And every time you do something that makes you happy and joyful, thank yourself for doing it. And I'm so grateful that I just did this. Thank you so much. Thank you, self. Thank you. Whatever. Thank you, body. Thank you. Whatever you want to thank that you feel will elevate it even further. Just do it. Go with it. It's going to feel fantastic. Maybe it'll feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but ultimately it's going to feel fantastic. I promise you. And I promise you that this tiny act of creation will transform your life. Absolutely transform your life. And I feel like the tiny act of creation is also, I mean, it's just also because when you're creating, you're expressing. You're moving energy from within you to outside of you. And it's just such a beautiful thing to be able to do. And we should all be doing it. You know, it's like when you cry or you scream into the abyss or into a pillow or whatever. It's like you're just moving emotion out of you. You're moving it out of you. And so when you're creating something, you're moving, it's a form of expressing your love. It's an expression of your gratitude, an expression of your joy. And again, doing those things is so powerful for yourself and for everyone around you, for the collective. And I just wish that more people understood how important it is to be creative, to express yourself sovereignly, just because you want to do it. Just because you want to do it. It doesn't have to be, quote, good. It doesn't have to be profound. It doesn't have to do anything because the fact that you made it is enough. Literally, it's enough. It's all good. Yeah. I don't know what else I have to say. I just kind of was like, I want to talk about this. I think I should just pick up this little microphone that I attached to a pen. So I have this cutie little makeshift mic. I was like, I just should just start talking and we'll just see what happens. Where does it go? And ultimately, this is it. Please express yourself as sovereignly as you possibly can and continue to express yourself until you feel like, yep, this is exactly what I want to say, until it's as sovereign as possible, you know, until it's all you, and you can look at it and say, ah, there I am. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I thank you so much for being with me today. I truly am so grateful. I'm surprised that I didn't yap for an hour, but yeah, thank you for being with me and my voice. Until next time. Bye.